You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Supernatural After Show.
Welcome everybody to the Supernatural After Show. Tom Connolly's not here tonight, but Jack Bauer is. And this is the longest hour of my day. No. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Tom Connolly, sitting across from me.
Hi, I'm Lyndsey Wegner. I'm your little candy corn maiden for the evening.
Yes.
Getting all fancy, getting in the Halloween spirit.
It is. Almost time.
Almost time. Halloween parties last weekend, Halloween parties this weekend, Halloween coming up on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere over the rainbow, we're getting close there.
Yes, we're getting closer to it. So this is Supernatural, season 9, episode 4,
Slumber Party.
At first I was like, that's a weird title for the episode, but
It is, and it ties in,
yeah,
obviously, with the back and forth and what's been going on and the fact that she's been asleep for all these years.
Exactly, yeah.
I was thinking there was going to be popcorn and pillow fights and all sorts of fun stuff. And
Charlie came over, so I figured they'd all just be hanging out, you know. The episode started off with, it seemed like to me, the first 2 men of letters that have ever stepped foot after their headquarters has been built. Mm-hmm. They come in, they use their special keys to get in, which is a key that Sam and Dean have too, to get into the building there. They're like, you know, this is it took them 2 years to build this dumb building.
They're not going to find anything to do. It's going to be so boring.
Exactly, yeah. And it was his names were James Haggerty and Peter Jenkins. Mm-hmm. And
it's the epicenter of good and evil.
Yes, yeah. So they get a phone call, and
they need a password.
It was Frank's kid. And
it was Frank's kid.
There goes my badge.
You've lost your badge and
okay.
Bauer. We've lost him, guys. We've lost him.
Oh no.
Thank goodness Tom is still here with me.
Oh, Tom's back now. Oh, I'm here. I mean, I just got here. Sorry, guys. I was busy taking care of some things.
Yes. So they get a phone call, and they ask for the password, and they say this is Frank's daughter calling on the phone, but she still needs to have know how to get in.
Yeah. She comes in. There's a bag with her. She says, "Who wants to help me kill the Wicked Witch?" And that's how we start this episode. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. I like that she called them. Who's gonna help me? Are you monkeys gonna help me kill him? There's a lot of nods to the Wizard of Oz, and some Wicked nods in this. If anybody's seen Wicked, I've seen it before the play. So it was a lot of. I couldn't catch as many as there were. I was writing down as much as I could, but it was hard to definitely catch all of them in this episode.
I liked right away from the beginning, Dorothy comes off as a really strong character. Yeah. Very strong-willed, very independent, and I don't know if we really necessarily see that in the Wizard of Oz movie. When you first see it, I mean, she's on her own, and she's, I think, more scared. This is a very strong, like, I am woman Dorothy. Yes. Like, I can do this on my own. I can... I've tried to kill the Wicked Witch. I've tried to behead her, decapitate her. I've tried to burn her.
Yeah, she cut her tongue out.
Yeah, she's tried everything, and she can't kill her. So now she's instilling the help of somebody else. But she's done this all on her own. Yeah. Up until this point when she brings it to Haggerty and Jenkins. Yeah. So we're going to find out how, she's going to find a way to kill her, actually, once and for all. Exactly.
So there was a lot of, jumping back and forth, as you guys have seen, from present day back to 1935. We'll just stay back in the past for a little bit, kind of explain that. The Haggerty and Jenkins, looking through, trying to find a way to kill the witch. Witch escapes,
She escapes and she possesses Jenkins.
Yeah, which, we've seen it's almost like the demon eyes of everyone else.
Except it's green.
Yeah. Emerald green.
Yes.
And Haggerty has to kill him to save him from the witch's powers. Dorothy, we find out that she creates a spell
But wait, before we get to that,
okay.
Let's talk about the knife.
Oh yes.
Let's talk about the knife that Haggerty killed Jenkins with.
Yeah, it's definitely the same knife that Sam and Dean used to kill demons. Which would make sense that it seems like these men of letters that were just diving into this world of theirs. Like we started a little bit last season, but now it's like they've started everything. They've found out all these ways to kill these demons and kill everything.
It all started somewhere, and this is where it began. So this is where the knife first, I think, comes into play.
Yeah.
Maybe the origin of the knife was with Jenkins and Haggerty. We don't know how it was created or anything, but
I know they've got it from, kind of got passed down to them, the knife. So I don't know. I can't remember exactly where they got it from. I'm guessing it was their dad. But yeah, it was just kind of passed down to them. So
it was neat to see that make a little flashback right there to know like where that came from. And now obviously it's in Dean. There's one in Dean and Sam's power to kill them. So okay, yes. So he kills Jenkins, and the witch is on a hunt to find
a key.
Yeah. That's what happens when after he kills her. We know that we know that she's trying to find the key.
Yeah.
We don't know where.
Exactly. So then basically Dorothy, creates this spell. It's a binding spell that binds her and the witch together.
Her soul with mine.
Yes. So they get trapped into this jar of liquid that we then find out in a little bit. So then we come back to Sam and Dean. Dean comes back from taking Kevin on a kind of vacation, letting him go to a hotel, watch some fun movies he wants to watch or whatever he wants to do.
And they miss Cass already.
Yeah. And Sam kind of asks her, which Sam knows something's up. Something is going on. He's still trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And Dean just kind of tells him that, Cass thinks he's going to be a threat to us, so he had to leave. Which we never got that full conversation between them last week of exactly what Dean told him.
I'm still surprised Sam let him go. I thought there would maybe be a fight. I thought that maybe Cass would kind of be a little bit not around maybe in this episode, but would be around next episode so we could see the struggle between Sam and Dean wanting to let him go. I was thinking that Sam was going to put up more of a fight, but he must have just agreed with it and understood his perspective.
I think they respect Cass enough to know that, if he says he needs to leave to protect them, they'll kind of just let it happen.
Go with it.
And know that, if Cass does need their help or they need his help, they'll find a way to, work together and get back to each other. So then we go into...
We see Crawley, who's still in captivity, stuck in the basement, chained up, locked up.
He wanted a room with a view this week, but he's definitely not getting that.
And a place to stretch his legs.
Yeah. So they let him up to stretch his legs out, which I thought was kind of weird that they would let him kind of walk around.
Yeah.
It seemed, I think he's still trapped in
this area.
In this circle.
Well, they hadn't let him out yet because he still has to meet.
Oh yes, his wonderful
his friend later on.
Yes.
So they're looking for. Sam has said he's discovered these wires, and he's figured out where these wires go. They take him down to a command center that was built in 1951. This computer was built in 1951, and they don't really know how. There's no instruction manual. They have no idea how to use it.
It's like lights.
It's lights and like plugs.
Yeah.
And so they know exactly who to call to help them figure it out. But first, there's the foreshadowing of this blue goo.
Yeah, that Dean knocks off the shelf.
Dean almost knocks off the shelf, and then all of a sudden just spills out, and it takes on this like form
onto the wall.
And we don't know what it is. We hadn't known at this time that it was, the spell that was cast by Dorothy yet. We hadn't seen that yet. So we get to Charlie.
Yeah, so Charlie comes in.
Little computer.
Yes, computer hacker.
Yes.
Friend of the boys.
She's been hunting.
Yes.
They don't like this.
No, they definitely don't like that. She said it was like werewolves she was hunting. So she just doesn't.
She's on a quest.
Yeah, she wants her quest to find.
She wants an adventure.
Yeah. She wants more like a Lord of the Rings adventure, and she's not getting that in hunting werewolves and stuff like that.
But
she's just not getting enough out there.
She does help them figure out this computer and figure out a way to because the point of the whole computer that they want is they want to be able to find angels. Yes. Right?
Yeah, they want to hook it up because apparently when the angels fell, they all went to like different clusters of the world. and the map kind of lit up in different areas.
So they want to be able to locate the angels.
Yeah, and we found out that the computer basically was the one that shut down the whole, when Kevin was in there before, the computer shut the whole place down by itself.
Yes.
And it was when the angels fell, because it can sense when there's so much evil and danger going on in the world. Yes.
It's literally the epicenter of the good and evil. They talk about some books. We find out that she's read some books on hunting from Becky Winchester, 776.
Yeah.
That are the unfinished works.
Which are the supernatural books.
The supernatural books. Are those real?
In the show, yeah. I think they may be. I don't know if
In the show?
The show, yeah. There's a guy that, he was like a prophet that was writing books about that.
So can I go out to the library and get like a supernatural
According
book?
to Charlie, you can go to Amazon and get it, so.
Okay, I'm going to look this up on Amazon and see if I can find myself some supernatural books here. It's kind of cool.
It would be fun to read. But I mean, it's just basically the whole series as they're writing it is written down in book form.
Cool. So they're back down in the command center by the computer.
Charlie uploads everything into her tablet, so now they can look up whatever they want by modern technology, not 1951 technology.
And Dean goes and sees this giant.
It looked like a cocoon.
Cocoon,
That's the cocoon behind the shelf where they
where the goo had
fallen on the ground. So he takes his knife, cuts into it, and who pops out but Dorothy? And she wakes up right away, not knowing where she is, confused. She doesn't know, what happened or anything like that.
Doesn't know it's been 75 years, she said?
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, and she's been, alive. Well, she's been alive, but she's just been kind of stuck in this. She didn't really say where she was. Just kind of like, it was kind of, I guess.
Just that her and the witch were stuck.
Yeah, kind of almost like a sleeping spell. So so that the witch couldn't harm anybody else, and then she'd have to be stuck with her. So
if Dorothy's loose, that means the witch is loose.
Yeah.
But the witch didn't come out with Dorothy. She almost I'm assuming since she changed form, she changed into a gaseous form. Yeah. To move through vents and stuff like that. That must have been how she got out of the cocoon secretly or silently. Yeah, because we never saw actually how she got out. Because the next thing we see of her is her standing in front of Crowley. Yeah. And she almost tries to kill him, but he's got like protection. Yeah, he's got the force field that nobody can step into it. Humans can, but demons can't step into that. They can't leave it. So that's why he's stuck there in that circle. So she can't step in. And, I mean, Crowley was just pretty funny because he was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of you." And he was like, another line he said was, "Oh, cowardly lion, got your tongue?" Because she can't talk at all. No, she can't. All she can do is grunt and So he told her to write down what she wanted, and she wrote down key. And so we find out this key is like a portal to Oz. So the only way you can otherwise get to Oz is through, what do they say, tornado or other like an earthquake or some kind of waterfall. It had to be some sort of supernatural event to get there, unless you had the key, which would open up. Yeah, any door you put the key in leads you right to Oz. So that was pretty darn cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was really cool. So then we get the boys coming to Crowley, trying to figure out what the witch wanted from her. He tells them that it's a key, and then they let him take a walk, stretch his legs, for a little bit. Yeah. And Dean's seen the key. Dean has seen the key to Oz before, so they actually split up. Dean and Charlie and Sam and Dorothy. Yeah. Along with them taking guns that Charlie has filled with poppy bullets. Yeah, that's because Charlie and Dorothy have this little conversation, and Charlie's all in awe and amazement of the fact that this is the real Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. This is somebody that most girls, I think, growing up, look up to Dorothy and like her travels and the fact that she killed the Wicked Witch, or that's what we were told in the movie. She killed the Wicked Witch, and she took this journey and stuff. So I think Charlie's almost in awe of her, and Dorothy just kind of like shuts her down. I was like, it's really not that great. Frank Baum, that's my dad. Yeah, and he was a one of the men of letters. But it wasn't a big deal. No, well, I mean, she was saying, yeah. I mean, but I think these men of, I just think it's such a good like underlying story of
you know, finding out who was actually in the Men of Letters, and like them saying that he was in. It makes sense. And so then Dorothy, you know, tells her that, you know, he wrote the books about her because she got trapped. She actually followed him to Oz when she was a young girl, and met up with, you know, we find out she met up with, you know, 3 rebels,
freedom riders.
Yeah, that the witch eventually turns into the Scarecrow,
Cowardly Lion, and Tin Man,
which I thought was just good writing of, you know, taking a story that, you know, really has nothing to do with supernatural, you know, the characters in this show, and just melding them together. I think it's, you know,
it was brilliant.
Yeah, really
brilliant
smart
writing, really good, really smart. Yeah, really smart writing, and very subtle, but just real, and like you could see it in the supernatural realm. Oh yeah, this totally fits in. And they also said in the books, what Charlie tried to explain to her was that this was her dad's way of helping her try to figure out how to find and kill the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
And this was like a guide to doing it, all these books, and that he was actually a genius for writing this. Yeah. Even though she, at the time, wasn't really appreciative of the books and the life that she supposedly lived. Yeah, and we found out too that the witch, you know, unlike the books that we've read, you know, growing up, the witch actually killed Dorothy, but it was also never explained how she was alive. Back. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was because Charlie did say, well, the witch can't kill her because she got the kiss from the North. The Glinda. Yeah. So maybe that's why she was brought back. Because I've never read those. I've watched Wizard of Oz, but I've never read the whole, you know, there's like 14 books that he wrote. So maybe along the way I'll read them and then I'll figure it out. And I'll give you guys the answer to that. And then, wait a second. Going back to Crowley. Yeah. Is Crowley still half human, or is he part demon? Is he whole demon? Is he whole angel? Is he whole devil? Because how is he surviving without food? Demons don't have to eat or anything like that. They don't, okay, but if he's part human? I still think because he had the flashbacks. I still think he's demon. I think that whole thing with Sam, I think it was turning him human, but I don't think it made him like human. So, okay, so he doesn't need food. He doesn't require the necessities that Cass even does. No, because now the Cass is human. Like even when Cass was an angel, he didn't need food, sleep, anything like that. Okay. Yeah. So I don't. So Crowley's still wholeheartedly demon. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Good. As of now, yes. Until we find out more story about Crowley, then we will dive deeper in that subject. So they separate into the 2 groups and go off to find the witch because they know she's on the hunt for the key. Dean wants to go find the key before she does. They find the key. Find the key. The witch shows up and knocks Dean out, grabs the key from him. And then she went to zap him. Yeah, she hits him first to grab the key. Yeah. Charlie jumps in the way, and Charlie takes the zap. She does. And then we go to break. But then we come back, and Dean is freaking out because Charlie's not responding. And we think, there's no way she can be dead. She's way too important a character to die. Like, she literally can't be dead. And she is. Yeah. She's dead. She's gone. Yeah, we find out. So then Sam comes in, and Dean immediately calls for Zeke before Sam can even get in the room, which comes up in a little later. Blue demon eyes, or blue eyes immediately to Zeke, asking, what can he do? So Dean tells him, you know, save her, and, you know, he'll deal with the consequences because Zeke doesn't. Zeke said he can do one or the other. He can help her, or he can help with the witch, or save Charlie. But every time he saves somebody, he said he was only at half power. Yeah. So every time he gives this power to save somebody else, he's losing the power, and that means that he has to stay longer in Sam's body. Yeah. And longer for both of them. Zeke doesn't want to be in Sam's body that long, and Dean doesn't want him around that long because he wants to be able to, you know, stop this charade, stop this lie that's still continuing. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Dean is digging a grave here of lies. It's week after week. He is not going to get away with this. And when Sam finds out, there's going to be a huge explosion in that bunker. Major consequences coming back from that lie. So he saves Charlie, thankfully, saves Charlie, but it pretty much knocks him out as well from putting that much effort forth into saving her. So if he was at half power now, what is he at, quarter power maybe? Yeah. So bringing back somebody from death, like he did with Cass. he keeps saving these people, which is good. We need Cass around. We need Charlie around.
So it's. I mean, I would have been really upset, you know, as a fan of the show if they did kill her off. But I think,
just let her go. Yeah.
But I think it just adds more layers to Dean of these lies, and you know, he's saving people, using Zeke to save all these people. It's going to be major consequences when the time comes of whatever, you know, however this fizzles out in the end.
So Sam wakes up and he says, "What happened, guys?
I don't know what's going on this week.
What happened here?" And Sam's like, Dean says, he goes, "Oh, well, the witch zapped Charlie, and then she zapped you, and now you woke up." And Sam goes, "Wouldn't we have died?"
And he's like, "Well, I guess not. So
I guess not.
You must be super strong for some reason, but."
But that was even Dean's really digging deep at this point to come up with stuff and on the spot like that, because it's just getting too close.
It definitely is just, and then we find out that
and then he says it.
He asks you, "Who's Zeke?"
Yeah, he goes, "Who's Zeke?" They're walking. "Who's Zeke?" He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that. And you must be thinking things from the zap.
Yeah,
you know, the zap must have knocked you out or something that you heard me say that, because I didn't say that." Yeah,
I was. When Sam came running in the room and like instantly switched, I was like, he's gonna remember running into that room and then nothing happening. Like he's not gonna. It's like I said, it's piling up.
It's getting too close.
Yeah, it's just getting. Dean, stop lying. Stop lying, Dean.
Stop it. Stop it. We don't like it.
Can we go one episode without you lying to your brother? Jeez.
No allegiance here at all.
No, he's getting on my nerves with this.
You could tweet today to Jared Padalecki during the episode. We saw that. I got really excited. I wanted to tweet to him. Unfortunately, I don't have a smartphone, so I was unable to do that.
I'll tweet to him after.
You'll tweet to him later.
Yes.
Yeah. But I thought that was really neat that they had tweet to Jared, and I wanted to tweet something like, "Yeah, tell Jensen to stop lying to you."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then we find out that Dorothy can kill the witch with the ruby slippers. The boys kind of get possessed by the witch. So it's up to Charlie to kill the witch.
But she also knows now at this point that Dorothy was killed before, prior, and that zapping does mean instant death.
It does, yeah.
So when Charlie heard Dean tell Sam, "Oh yeah, we were zapped, but it was just fine. It was just this little thing," she now knows, no, I was actually killed.
Yeah, because she thought she was dreaming.
Yeah,
but
she thought she was
like
dreaming.
with her family and stuff.
Christmas, that's what heaven is supposed to be like, your happiest place.
Yeah.
So we still don't know how Dorothy became alive right now at this point, but we go on. So she became a hunter. Books were to help Dorothy. Red slippers will kill the witch.
Because it has magic from Oz on them still. So Dorothy fights the boys that are possessed by the witch. Charlie goes after the witch, and she stabs her, and she tells her...
Not before the witch has released the monkeys.
Oh, yes.
Has opened the door to Oz. There's a tornado brewing. All hell is about to break loose in Oz.
Into the earth, because the witch wanted to bring Oz to Earth.
To life. And Dorothy had said it will literally create mass chaos.
Which
with everything, which it looked like it was about to be. And luckily, Charlie comes up just in time as the boys are about to kill Dorothy because they've been possessed by the witch. Charlie comes up in the back of the head.
Now heel.
Now heel to the face. She's Benito.
Exactly. Good job for Charlie. Charlie's becoming one of my... She's like such a cool character.
I got so excited because you realized at the moment she got to do her quest.
Exactly.
That was what she was saying the whole episode, was that she wanted this adventure, this quest. She wanted all these things to line up and be this storybook novel that Dorothy has seemingly had.
Yeah, she wanted a quest to find a key, and she took the key.
And here she got it.
Yeah, the key to Oz, which she has.
It was great closure to that dream of hers.
And then, the boys come up to find Charlie. She says, "Ding dong, bitches."
I wrote that too, yeah.
Yeah, another good, like I said, there was just so many good callbacks to the movie.
And she got to close the door to Oz, which was even cooler. She was able to stop everything and basically save the world.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get sucked in. That's what I was thinking was going to happen.
But the next part was going to be having to try and find her in Oz.
Yeah, like them maybe going there or just, trying to find a way to get Charlie back.
So they put Crowley back in lockdown.
They do.
And
he said, after all that, for Miss Defying Gravity, that's a Wicked reference.
Which is, Defying Gravity. And then as Charlie and Dean are talking, she thanks him for bringing her back to life. And he goes, he doesn't know what she's talking about. He's lying to her, and she says, no, you...
Yeah, she's like, don't lie to me.
Yeah, don't lie to me. You can't BS a BS.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, next up, there's even more closure to the story when we find out that Dorothy asks Charlie to join her in Oz.
Yeah, to go on our quest.
To find Toto.
Yes, she's got to find her dog, so...
And the boys are wondering, is she going to be back? And what do they say?
There's no place like home.
No place like home.
I just, overall, this was, I almost want to say this is the best episode of the season so far. It was, lots of story going on, lots of, interweaving of different stories. We find out, Dorothy's dad was a man of letters, and, she died. I want to go to Oz and Supernatural. I want them to go there, or, pick up. Hopefully maybe we'll have, an episode, with Charlie in Oz.
Ooh, that would be great.
I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. But overall, I thought this was the best episode of the season so far. And this to me is an episode that if you're not a fan of this show and you watch this episode, you become a fan of this show by watching it, because it was funny, it was interesting, there was a good story,
pop culture references.
There was a good story throughout it. Overall, these are the episodes of this show that make me such a huge fan of this show. Like last season, my favorite episode was the Dungeons and Dragons episode with Charlie. Charlie was in that episode too, because it was just a fun episode. Like this one was, it had the serious moments in it, but it was also just, very lighthearted, and, they made fun of, the whole, Dorothy, she's real kind of thing. Like, okay, let's see where this goes on this adventure.
And she was a kick-butt girl.
She was,
She was totally like, she had her motorcycle parked in the garage.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just fantastic.
Oh, yeah, and they found the garage, which... Dean's gonna be happy because now his car
down there.
Yeah, his car. There's more cars.
There's more cars down there.
And then their car can park inside, so it's not parked out, covered by some trees or something outside.
I liked the episode too. I felt it was very fairy tale storybook, almost kind of like Grimm or Once Upon a Time, the TV shows that are out right now. It definitely had that feel, but I loved that. Yeah, it was definitely relatable with the pop culture references, and it was funny, and it was interesting, and it definitely pulled you in. And I liked that this episode today. The scenes were a little bit longer, so it gave you a chance to understand what was going on a little bit more, because you were watching Dean and Sam for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, where normally the scenes are like a minute long, and then they switch to the next character, then they switch to the next character, and you go back and forth so often, it's a little bit more harder to piece things together, where this was just, you were able to focus on it right away. I really liked that about this episode too. Yeah,
this was definitely, I tried to think of the name of it, but it was definitely, everything was contained in the bunker this whole episode. We didn't see anything outside of it at all.
No.
So I like that. I mean,
one set.
Actually everything, because even the flashbacks were all in the bunker too. So it was definitely like that contained episode of just, we're gonna stay here and this is what's gonna happen. And I mean, that bunker is huge anyway, so there's so many different rooms and everything.
And that's what they were discovering, all these different rooms. Yeah. The garage, the computer room, there's a dungeon.
Yeah.
All these different rooms in the bunker that they haven't discovered yet, or haven't quite played out yet, that I'm sure we're going to be able to see more of as the season goes on.
Yeah, which I thought Crowley was in the dungeon.
I don't know. Maybe he's locked up in some
wherever that room is. I'm not sure exactly what they would call it, but I thought that would be the dungeon where Crowley is. But do we want to get on to some news and gossip?
Sure, talk to me, Goose.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
I have some news that I've read. I'm not sure exactly, but definitely news for like Felicia Day, who plays Charlie. I think I heard she's definitely going to be back this season, and she's definitely going to have a big part this season. So hopefully we'll see her, return from Oz. Hopefully with Dorothy, because I did like her character. It definitely seemed like there could be something with Sam and Dorothy going on there. They seemed like they had a good interaction together, some chemistry. So that would be an interesting thing to happen. They did bond over, they didn't have a place that they called home. Even Dorothy says there is no place like home, but she said she never really had a home. She was always in Oz or wherever. But that's all I really have.
So you got Felicia Day coming back for more this season.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And then I will in predictions. Let's go to predictions now.
Predictions.
Because I have.
All right. Let's talk.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Well, like you said, I definitely want to see, and I would like to see an episode with Charlie and Dorothy in Oz. As you said, you think Charlie's definitely going to be back more of a season. I want to see an episode in Oz, or maybe they're traveling and her getting to kind of take on an adventure. Maybe just literally have the scene or the whole episode rely solely on them telling the story of trying to find Toto and actually finding Toto. That would be great.
Yeah.
But we also think that there's potential that this could be the character they're creating.
Yeah,
I think, of a spin-off.
Yeah.
And do a Wizard of Oz type show.
Or either that, or I was gonna say, I feel like the character of Charlie would go off on her own and have her own show. Because, you know, with the line of like CW shows, it's mostly, you know, I'd say it's geared more towards, you know, teenage girls, like girls that most of the shows on that network. And, you know, I think Charlie is such a strong character, like a strong female character, especially on Supernatural. Like, she's basically the only female character that is really strong and like again a good guy. Like on their side. So I think it would be interesting, you know, whenever Supernatural like sails off into the sunset and who knows what happens to Sam and Dean, for Charlie to, you know, maybe pick up and become, you know, that first like woman of letters. So that would be.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
I love that. I like that a lot. I think that's a great idea.
Do you have any other predictions or?
Let me think here. I think that I want to see what happens with Cass coming up.
Yeah.
And we saw for next week they've got Dean turning into a dog and half man, half dog. What is it? Mind melding with an animal.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting episode next week.
I cannot wait for that. Dean hanging his head out the window. But that music means we are wrapping up this week's episode of Supernatural. Where can they find you, Lyndsey?
You guys can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner and my blog, lyndseywegner.blogspot.com. Tom.
They can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom and tomorrow night on Abby's Ultimate and WWE Main Event. Awesome. That's where they can find me. So see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.